Okay. 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 Waiting for your stream to go live. The stream is live. Or is it? I'm getting texts and everything. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, everything's good. I'm too warm. Oh, does this count as stripping on a live stream? Nobody needs to see that. The hell, you'd love it. I don't know. I'm past the point of doing anything here. Because why the fuck bother? Why bother? Indeed. Should I tweet a thing? I should probably tweet a thing. I tweeted a thing. What about a Discord thing? Oh, I got a Discord thing earlier, didn't I? I haven't got stats up on the screen, so if a person comes, I won't know. And everyone. One day I'll hear the word everyone and it won't be followed by Gary Oldman, but it always is. Always, always is. And so we begin the beginning of the show. Oh, there we go. Where we wait. Oh, there's someone there. Hello, you made me jump. I didn't realize that I have to use your thing. Yeah, that works. Okay, thank you. Hello, yeah. How do you not love Gary Oldman, especially in that movie? I watched it again recently, and it's still fucking awesome. Although I watched the extended cut, and it had a lot of stuff in it I'd not seen before, which was tremendously creepy. That was cut out of the American version of the movie. I am, of course, talking about Leon the Professional, which is why we're all here tonight. Welcome to another Movies You Should See. This week we're reviewing the classic Leon the Professional. We actually did that once. You, of course, won't be old enough to remember Movies You Should See. One of the greatest podcasts of all time. Also, I have no topic for tonight, so anything you want to talk about, you just shout it out. And we can do that. That's fine by me. I have no preference. I like topics where I can show a web page or something like that because I kind of have a cheeky smoke while I'm doing that. I'll be honest. Anyway, I hope you're well there. I hope you're well. I hope everything's okay. As the weather gets colder and the world gets weirder. And we watch our country fall down around our ears. More so if you're British, that's the thing that we're watching right now. Everything is awful. It's if they'd only let me be in charge, I would have it sorted so quickly. So quickly and easily I could solve all the problems. Well, could I? I don't know. But I tell you what, I certainly wouldn't do any worse than the people whose job it is to do that right now. So I couldn't be worse than they've got. But there are so many things I think I should do where I don't think I would be worse than the person they've got. I think they should let me have a go in a Williams at Formula One car instead of Nicholas Latifi because the worst I can do is crash it every week. And that's what that dude does. Just turns up and crashes it. I can do that. Except he makes a lot of money doing that and gets to be a race car driver. I'd enjoy being a race car driver. I do need to get this Discord public. I also need to figure out how to do that. What does freedom mean to me? You ask in the chat, what does freedom mean to me? In what, can you say a bit more? That's a very big question actually. The freedom to live your life. Freedom is being able to live your life as closely to how you want to without negatively affecting those around you. That feels about right. Because obviously we have to have limitations. We can't have total freedom because somebody might want to, like, kill everybody or something like that. And we can all agree that that would be bad. So we say, right, you can't kill people. And we all agree with that. And all these things are how we just get laws as we go through time and decide all the things that you can and can't do and that sort of thing. And so we live our lives as closely as we can to the way we would like, given the society in which we live. And that's what freedom means to me. I feel like there should be a big song to go with that. Like, what does freedom... It's a country song. What does freedom mean to me? And I feel like I should have an American flag and a flying eagle superimposed across the background while I sing about what freedom means to me on my slide guitar. What is the instrument in country music with the strings on the top? And I ask this question a million times, at least once a year. And I'm a million years old, clearly. So I always, and I look it up and I forget there's an instrument in country music. It's like stringed instrument. It's not a guitar. It's not a piano, but it's on a table thing. It's like a table guitar or something like that. I don't know. What was the context for asking me what freedom means to me? A banjo? Or do you mean a banjo? I don't know what a banjo is. I'm going to give you the typo benefit of the doubt on that. It's not a banjo. I will look it up. But I can't talk and type. Instruments used in country music. History of country. Right, banjo, fiddle, harmonica, mandolin, acoustic guitar, accordion. I'm looking up an article called Instruments Used in Country Music. Electric bass, drums, piano. Oh, I think it might be the... Is it the auto harp? Now we have to look up the auto harp. Nope. No, it's not. I didn't think it was. That's a handheld thing. 12 instruments, 14, another 14 instruments. There are only 14, all these articles are 14 instruments used in country music. It's not a dobro. A dobro. It's a pedal steel guitar. That's what I'm talking about. Hang on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's the power of video, isn't it? That's what I'm talking about. The pedal steel guitar. And I will now forget that forever until I once again have this conversation about what is that thing, that stringed table instrument used in country music. It's one of those things that I do. So things you didn't know you wanted to learn tonight. I don't know. No, they're in there. They're the slidey. They make a very particular noise. The pedal steel guitar. It's a very particular sound. Um, oh, this article's calling it the Hawaiian steel guitar because it. Oh no. Yeah, no, that's it. It came from Hawaii, and it is a very unique sound. It's very slidey. You don't. I don't think you press the frets with your fingers as such. I'm not entirely sure. The pitches of the strings can be changed by using pedals and levers to raise, lower, or bend the notes. Okay. There you go. This is about as interesting as I get today. Exciting, isn't it? What would you say is one of the most powerful pieces of music? Here's the random questions tonight. I love this, by the way. This is fine. It keeps me talking to one of the most powerful pieces of music. Beyond Bryan Adams' Everything I Do It For You. I would guess. Right, well, counter question for you, actually, because this is how I like to. One I used to play with people. Aliens land. You're the only person around. And they ask you, what is music? And you get to play one piece of music for a creature that is intelligent but has never heard music before. What would you play? And the track I always come back to, if I were doing that, would be the Overture to the Marriage of Figaro by Mozart. That's what it would be. I can't play it. That would be so good if I could play it on a live stream. If we could have any form of conversation about music and then play that music, that would be good. But they've never quite figured that one out, have they? They never quite figured that one out. So there you go. That's what I would say is one of the most powerful pieces of music. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Thank you for keeping me going tonight. I don't know what the hell is happening. Right? Because even I have notoriously small live stream audiences. Generally manage a little more than this. And I don't know. I never know what to do with the live streams, especially after the fact. Because I don't think anybody watches live streams afterwards. And they're a very different format of show. They're not like watching a regular video. And even I think when there are times where there is great stuff of value, because there is stuff of value in these live streams from time to time, I think. It takes a lot of sifting through to get to it when you're watching them again. So I don't see much value in keeping the live streams up on the website after the fact. But then I'm starting to wonder, does that somewhat let people forget that they exist? I don't know. I don't know what to do. So live streams in general are quite an odd thing. Sometimes they're very popular. Sometimes there's just nobody around and you don't know what to do. And you end up just talking garbage for like 20 minutes and that sort of thing. It's all very odd. I've never understood the live stream. They say keep to a similar time, like, do it at a regular time, which is what I've been doing. Um, and I don't know. I don't know if that helps. I mean, I'm talking to one or two people right now, so clearly that's not exactly building anything. I guess the idea is to do a live stream that somebody would watch after the event and watches a replay of it and enjoys it and watches the next one. Um, yeah, you see, this is the other problem with the Patreon and YouTube membership split, right? And the live streams is that in order to get them on Patreon, I need to upload them to Patreon. Um, which means they need recording and, sifting through afterwards. And I've kind of not been doing that, if I'm perfectly honest. And that's part of me not knowing what to do with them. And also, I've not done live streams that I felt were because I feel so down about them. And feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, right? Feel free to tell me that the live streams do have more value after the fact than I feel like they do. I have trouble like wanting to upload them because I feel like they're crap. And you kind of just you go into YouTube, you switch them to private or whatever, and you don't think about them anymore. Which is a bit head in the sand thinking, but that is in all honesty what I do. Um and I need to come up with something better, quite frankly. I'm not happy with that arrangement in the slightest. And I want to do something different and better. So that was why I was thinking about going to Twitch, because then you can just leave stuff there and it's on Twitch, it's out the way, and it doesn't interfere with YouTube. I'm having enough trouble with YouTube as it is. Growing this channel has been quite a slog. Of late, it's been quite a slog. It's been really difficult. Um, and I don't know why. Right. Um, this is what that same trouble that I've been talking about through all the uh covert narcissism videos that I did recently. That's still there. You know, all of this worry about why aren't I doing better? How can I do better? What am I doing wrong? All that sort of thing, because I still feel like I'm doing lots wrong. Um, I've had no growth on things like views and any real growth on subscribers and that sort of thing. I feel quite sort of stunted at where I am at the moment. And I don't feel like it's a content problem. I'm not sat here paranoid about my content or anything like that. And I don't want to sit here whining about it either. Um, but yeah, it's everything is very stunted at the moment. Everything is very stuck. And I'm quite stressed out about it, to be perfectly honest. Um, hence wanting to get these course videos done, because I think that might be able to provide me with a decent little bit of revenue, much more so though than the regular Patreon has, because that's very low cost, you know. And it has whatever value it has. I If someone was to look at it and shrugging, it's not great. I'd kind of get that. I'd understand. That's fine. But I want to be able to charge more, so I've got to make something very good, which means um, doing something just a lot better than I have been. Which is, it sounds like I'm attacking my own stuff, but it's a lot. It's quite easy to do, to do something better than what I have been. My videos, as they are very improvised, are very underprepared, are very off the cuff. And I'm quite pleased with how I do with them for that. And that doing them in that way does enable me to be much more. I feel it comes across as more natural. It's more honest. It's more open. It's more in depth when I don't plan things. You're getting me in my most raw state, which is, that's the best stuff I can give you, really, is just raw me. Do you want me raw? Yeah. Um, so it's yeah, I don't think it's the content. I've never thought it was the content, and I have too high an opinion of myself to get that caught up in doubting myself. But it's tough to keep positive about it all. I've shut my window so I can't see you by mistake. It's very tough to keep positive about it all. But at the end of the day, what else can I do? I have to start looking for a real job now. Um, unless I get the course off the ground. So, what have you asked me? What do you find most curious? Depths of the universe, forest, or sea? Where are you getting these questions? I'm curious now. I mean, they're great questions. Totally random and very philosophical, but these aren't things you've been dying to ask me for ages, are they? Let's be honest. But let's dive into your question because it's one of those intriguing ones. And I mean one of those places. I think the place that I mean is stoned. So I can talk about the depths of the universe, the forest, or the sea. Actually, forest, I'm already bored with. Write that one off. I'm already bored with the forest. Can't be asked. Universe or sea. I find the depths of space far less terrifying than the depths of the sea, which terrify me greatly. Thalassophobia, something like that, is the fear of large open bodies of water. Yeah. Yes. Do not like the sea at all. Not comfortable with it. I don't feel it's an irrational fear. I know that many people go in the sea or on the sea or ocean, whichever you prefer, every day and return home safely. They're fine. But also, some of them don't. And it's the chances of being one of the people who don't versus the reward of going in or on the sea. And I sort of think, fuck it, that is terrifying. Right? I am always ready for something big and fast to appear out of nowhere and eat me whole. That's the thing with the sea. So it's terrifying. I don't find it curious. I don't want to know. Right? It's all frightening. So that's the thing. Space is much more interesting because who knows what's out there? Are there aliens? Should we trust no one? I don't know the answer to these questions. David Duchovny does. Will he tell us? I don't know. I don't know. So let me ask you, all this talk about what to do with the live streams, right? What would you do with this live stream after the fact? Because I don't know. I don't know what I'd do with this. Because, as a live stream, we've been sat here sort of 5 minutes. God, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. You sit here for half an hour and things don't go well. So what do? I don't want to leave it up there. Right? I don't want to leave this up here and have people come and watch a video of me sort of flounder for half an hour before I give up. There's no value to that whatsoever. That's not interesting to anybody. And it's okay to admit that that's not interesting to anybody. That's fine. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? And people seem to come on to the live streams and enjoy them when they come on. And there's definitely been a lot more interaction with the audience of late, which has been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. But yeah, I can't seem to get the live stream thing going. Now, what I do wonder is if it's just too early in the day, right? Um, is because it's now what, coming up to 6 o'clock on the East Coast. Yeah, and assuming everybody finishes work at like 5:30, does anyone want to come on and watch a live stream of me at 5:30? Are they commuting at that time? That sort of thing. I feel like it's just too early. And doing a regular weekend based live stream, that is difficult. That is a difficult thing to commit to. Um, Monday nights are so the best one to do. But, doing it at midnight UK time, that was too late for me. That was the years of me being able to sort of do that late night show are over. I don't know, unless I completely changed my sleep pattern, but I'm trying to get a proper sleep pattern, right? So that's one of those weird things. So I don't know, like, do you keep it going for a bit longer? Um, keep talking. Um, what do you do? It's something I've never figured out. I could do with some advice in that area. I should look that up. But then advice on what to do with live streams is shit universally. Yeah, thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, working till 6:30, then dinner, then time with your family, then yeah, it's a tricky thing, isn't it? This is the cross to bear of being in the UK. And even when I go to like midnight, so what are we on? So like 12:30 here would be 7:30 your time. And that's sort of when we start looking at um that's when we can start looking at starting, you know. Hang on, hang on, hang on. We had a word come up in the chat room that I have to address. The astrology's really intense right now too. Please say more about this. I'm prepared for me to look at this cynically. I'll try not to be mean. Hi, Pia. What? Because no, right. Astrology's on the shenanigans list for me. It's one of those. So I don't. What is the astrology too intense right now? And people are choosing to distract themselves and not have and not have conscious conversation. Your second favorite narcissist. Yeah, fine. I don't need that kind of validation, you see. I don't need to be the favorite narcissist. That's fine. I'm above that. I'm really not. That's going to keep me up all night. Um you throw me off now. What was I saying? It's all right. You don't have to rank us. I know I'm the best one. Um This is the thing with narcissists. Don't we all think we're the best one? Isn't that the point? Isn't that the point? To enter the club, don't you have to believe you're the best and should be the leader of it? And does that not bring us back to Groucho Marx, who said, I wouldn't want to be a member of any club that'd have me as a member? This is very true. Like the time the Narcissism Discord tried to give everybody a Narcissism Award. I'm assuming you're talking about Jacob. He's very good. I understand. I understand. That's fine. And we have our ups and downs, don't we? I definitely have shit days, right? I definitely have videos that I put out and I think, I can't believe they let me get away with that one. You know. We'll see you later, Kimberly. Drive safely if you're on a road trip. Yeah, he's very cool. I know. I know. That's fine though. What's something everyone seems to like, but you just don't understand why? Everything the kids are into nowadays. Get off my lawn. Right? That's what I don't understand. I have reached that point. I have reached that point. I have only just figured out Discord and TikTok. And I never figured out Snapchat. All those things. And then other things people seem to like that I can't understand. Justin Bieber, Harry Styles. That's another thing. Most music that's released now. Baz Luhrmann films. Salad. What's so fucking great about salad that it needs to be on or with fucking everything? Like, if there was no salad, then every other food is just ruined. We can't possibly eat a burger again because there's no fucking salad on it. And when you look at people who eat burgers that are like mostly salad, it's like that's just a sandwich of salad with a burger on it. That's not even like the burger isn't even the thing anymore. And you know, I fucking hate it. All of it. Anything you associate with salad, most of all tomatoes. Mayonnaise, also. I don't understand why so many people like that. I cannot stand it. The thought of it is gross to me. Um, and that's it. Next question. Okay, hang on. I'm going to start putting these up on the video thing because, I turned this thing on. Have you ever broken your own heart? Had a girl you loved and due to your disorder it ended things and for whatever reason you never got back together and it broke your heart? Well, technically, apart from the person I'm with now, I've never gotten back together with anyone I've ever broken up with. Otherwise, I'd be with them, I guess. No, I've never gotten back together with anyone after breaking up with them. I guess you have to, due to your disorder, that it ended things. Oh, I, I kind of feel like there's a lot you can blame on the disorders, one way or another, and whether it's like whether I panic and leave or dump someone or whatever, or whether I just behave in a way that gets me broken up with. Like, what are you going to pin on the disorder and blame the disorder? And how often do you actually find out specifically what it is? I would say the big relationship that I had in my life, the very long one, definitely ended as a result of both of those things. Um, although that was probably something, there were many factors there, of which my disorders were only a couple. But beyond that, yeah, it's, I think I've always been very intense and overbearing and clearly very insecure and very narcissistic and that sort of thing. Um, I don't know. I guess I'm only just learning about myself and relationships a whole lot more now, which seems an odd thing to be doing at the age of 43, nearly 44. But you end up where you end up, right? And it's been interesting doing it all again in the recent past as an adult. There was a long time I thought I'd never have a date again or anything like that. And it was much more interesting going through that as an adult. There's a lot less to worry about. Um, in a breakup, it's always both people who are willing to hurt each other. This is very true. I don't blame myself 100% for that breakup. I certainly don't. I think somebody else would, but I don't, and I'm at peace with that. Um, but that's the past, and there's some very sad things there still, but it is the past. Now, wow, you're coming with good questions tonight. What's the societal perception about narcissism that you feel most passionate about challenging? That we're all deliberately evil. That we're all some sort of hideous. The narcissist is coming for you. He's hiding under your bed. He's hiding in your wardrobe. The narcissist, he's coming for you. Like, fuck off. We're ill, right? And I think that what we need to get better at doing is identifying the behavior that comes as a result of narcissistic traits and helping people realize that that's behavior that comes as part of a narcissistic trait and it isn't normal and it does require therapy. You know, um, how many times you hear you see people talking about an argument or something and oh, he's such a narcissist. It's so horrible to her. He's such a narcissist. Right, then like help him. Right? Can we make it stop rather than just saying somebody because just saying that it does nothing, right? It's like, oh, he's a narcissist. Yes, and now what? You know, do we leave him out and drive him into the middle of the desert and leave him? What do we do? Um uh what's this one? Yes, I struggle with thinking MPDs are not deliberately evil. That's when my urge to punish is hard to control. Now I'm dealing with MPDs. It's a lot easier for me to not be cruel to them. Yeah, we're like this because we're broken. And I get this is the tricky thing though, right? We cause harm. And some of us cause very severe harm. And you know, that I'm not excusing anything, right? People cause very severe harm through narcissistic traits. But at the same time, I think we cut people off too quick. I think we write people off too soon. Um, you know, and this is a good question. Oh, hi, Shishi. Which makes it sound like I'm calling you Cece with a bit of a lisp. Hi, Shishi. I think it's disgusting to hate people with PDs just for the sake of hate. Of course. Absolutely. Hell yeah. How can we help an MPD? My ex was in such denial. He said I'm projecting. When I pointed out, it got very serious. And right, this is the classic problem, the classic MPD problem. How do you get through? I don't fucking know. As I've said lots, I got through because of the BPD comorbidity, which was greatly more in control. Um, but other than that, um, it's so about the individual getting to the stage where they realize there's something wrong. I think I've been thinking about this a lot in terms of that course that I'm putting together because obviously, well, I'm starting with some BPD stuff, and then the hope is that I could alternate between the two subjects, that I could do some BPD coursework and some MPD coursework. The BPD stuff is very easy to put together. It's very obvious what you need to do and very straightforward, and putting it in like lesson form with PowerPoint and doing it like a presentation. That's fairly straightforward with the BPD. And as I said, the first one is about your sense of self and defining that, and that's really easy. But what do you do for the MPD? Where do you start with that? In making getting over MPD a lesson, you have to assume you can't get through to anyone, right? Where I am at the moment with it is sort of taking it from the point of view of looking at how narcissistic traits play out in your real life and trying to handle those. Like, so how you treat your partner, how you treat your friends, how you treat your colleagues, how you behave in various places. Um, and sort of, I don't know, it's been the most difficult to think about and the most difficult to talk about how I came out of it or how I live with it, because a lot of it I still haven't come out of. I still have more MPD markers than, as many as I ever had. So in terms of me dealing with it and learning from it, and so much of MPD stuff is sort of you deal with it by saying, you're doing the wrong thing, pack it in. Just stop doing it. Pack it in now. And you can only say that so many times in a course. It's supposed to be a lot more productive than that, a lot more constructive than that. Um, Pierce says there are people who are self-aware. There's at least something wrong with them. Basically, they blame others and never take accountability. I can't understand it. Yeah, that's the. Once you're self-aware, and haven't I made a video about this at some point? Like, once you become self-aware, once you become aware of the MPD or narcissistic traits, then your accountability for your behavior as a result of those traits skyrockets. Then that goes to the moon. I can stand on the side of the narcissist all day when there's somebody who is mentally ill. And as a result of that, and a key feature of that mental illness is that they are unaware and unable to see that they are mentally ill. Then when someone's behaving badly as a result of that, or behaving inappropriately because of that, it's easier for me to forgive that and let it go entirely. But once they become aware, once they know about it, then things need to start moving quickly, I think. And the way I did that was just a complete shutdown. Right? It was, the machine is on, it's making a noise, there's smoke coming out of it, it's shaking around, all the lights are flashing, and there's a siren going. Switch it all the fuck off. And then we'll start switching it on a system at a time or whatever, just one bit, ramping it up, and then we'll see where the right level is. Rather than leaving running on full and making all this noise and doing all this damage, whatever, let's just switch it off entirely. And that's what I did. And I became very withdrawn and very quiet and very insular and very, I don't know, run out of words. And that was sort of how I started to get through it. But yeah, you have to take responsibility at that point. You have to take responsibility. Just try and make sure that you don't hurt anybody. Um, it's such a difficult thing to do. Let's see. What do we have in the chat? There are people who are self-aware there's at least something wrong. They're abusive and blame others and never take accountability. Oh, that's what got me started. Sorry, that's why it was at the top of where I was looking. It's a good idea to replace asking what's wrong with you with what happened to you. My ex would actually sit and say to me, I abused my ex and he loved her at the same time. He admitted to his drug addiction. He admitted to telling lies on people just to get away with bad behavior. Yeah, that's what we do. Like, so much of this stuff we know we're doing, but we're okay with that. And I think part of the healing process, that getting over it, is about changing your perceptions on what is okay and what isn't. So there's room to make a mistake here. There's room to get stuff wrong, and there's room to need to change slowly. Um, and so people are going to do bad things while they do that, while they're going through that process. People are going to continue. You know, if I have 10 ways in which I behave wrong and I can only fix one of them, there are going to be 9 going off while I'm doing that one. That's how it's going to be. Unless, like I say, what I tried to do, shut it all the fuck down. Just don't interrupt. But and I'm not condoning that as a constructive way of dealing with things. Because, like I say, I did become isolated. I did become unhappy. So, not my finest hour. Not my best suggestion, to be perfectly honest. Would you change the definition of special if I could? No. Um, sorry. I'm so glad you said we were aware we were doing all that, and we're okay with that because for me with ASPD, it turns a switch on me where you become deserving of my wrath. You hurt me, I'll blind you. I had that too. A similar thing. I think I talked about it way back in my dehumanizing people video. Wow, that is a long time ago now, actually. Have I been failing at this a lot longer than I think I have? Um, yeah, there comes a point where the switch flips and you're no longer a person and you don't matter and I will destroy you because you have brought that on yourself. You deserve that now. I am the wrath and the vengeance and the hellfire that you have brought down on yourself. That's how I used to be. And now I say that and I think, dear God, what was I talking about? What the hell? Um, but that was how I used to be. And I have upset and hurt a lot of people with that. A lot of people over the years, in one form or another. Um, and yeah, I don't know if that's just an SPD thing. Um, it's yeah, that's the thing. And it for me. It came out of a contempt for people, and it's. Do you know what it's also about? It's about letting a frustration out. It's about letting an anger out because I had all this anger inside me. This want to hurt others because I felt hurt. And if there was somebody where I could justify hurting them, then that was the best way to let it out. You can't just go around hurting people randomly, but you've got all this hurt you want to let out by hurting somebody. So when someone comes along and gives you the opportunity of you being able to say, right, you're not a person to me anymore, I'll destroy you, then of course you're going to take it. Of course you're going to take it. And I did that a number of times. And I still remember how good it felt. Um, you know, I still remember how good it felt. It was amazing. Um, not something to be proud of. Really not something to be proud of. But yeah, I still get that little twinge, that little excited little bit inside of oh, I hurt someone. Did you see how much I hurt them? It was awesome. You know. But yeah, I there's something much more focused and superior about being uh able to just dish it out to those you feel deserve it, right? I was never just some crazy psychopath. I was not somebody that everybody needed to be afraid of, or else. But you sort of did at the same time because don't flip my switch. Don't make me angry. Stay on the right side of me. And lots of examples lie in my wake of what happens when you don't stay on the right side of me. That was how I wanted to be. That was especially how I wanted to be in a work environment. Like, you will fear me because I can destroy you. And you will think I am so superior. You will be in awe of my power because I can destroy you. I can break you. I can make you or break you. And that was where a lot of my narcissism was. That was where all of it was, really. You know, it is. Oh, there's quite a few. It's weird. We've had a nice cycle of people through the chat tonight. It's been so much fun chatting to you all. You do help me keep going. You really do. Yeah, that's true also. Hurting them requires only small emotional hurts and cuts. Hell yeah. We are so fucking fragile. We are so fragile. We are so breakable. And if you know where to poke, you can take us down so quickly. Because it's all bollocks, isn't it? It's all defensive. It's all a lie, a front. And so if you know where to hit, do it. You can really break us down. What gets terrifying is I don't know how your particular narcissist will react to that. Some of us don't take it very well, famously. Um, some of us get really, really bad and nasty when you do that. Outright confronting us and deliberately hurting us. It sounds like I'm threatening, like that's potentially dangerous. You shouldn't try and hurt us. That's dangerous. Sounds like I'm doing the exact same thing we've just been talking about, doesn't it? um, but like genuine warning, right? If you have a mix of narcissism and psychopathy and that stuff that you're dealing with, then poking the bear might not be a sensible thing to do. Right? Walking away from the bear, leaving the bear, running away from the bear, leaving the bear to do what it does, and you go and living your life without the bear, they're probably the best things to do. Going and hitting the bear with a stick and going, ha, bear, I hit you with a stick. That's not sensible. You don't know how a stick is going to affect a bear. Um, so this is the problem. Why attack people? Like, if you can hurt people, yeah, I can hurt lots of people, but I'm not doing it. Um, Are you asking me if I dated a borderline? Not that I know of. Whether you're asking me or not, not that I know of. Um, would I? Depends on the borderline. Yeah, in theory. Depends on them. So I don't know. See, I don't think I'm difficult to date. I heard someone laugh in the distance. It was that loud that I heard it from where I was when I said that. I don't think I'm that difficult to date, right, in terms of my BPD. Yes, I've had wobbles and that sort of thing, but the day to day, especially now, is fairly easygoing on a BPD front. Um, so yeah, I would. I'm gonna sneeze though. I'm gonna sneeze again. There's never just one. Um, so yeah, I would in theory date a BPD person like me. ASPD don't mix with MPD or BPD or histrionics. Okay, I'm. I don't have all that much experience being around people with diagnosed personality disorders. It's just stuff that has never come up. Maybe I have dated people with ASPD or MPD or whatever. That's entirely feasible. I just don't know if I have. Certainly nobody diagnosed. You know, the only people that I've encountered in real life where I know what they've got would be perhaps you could say people I've met through group, in which case it would be massively inappropriate to attempt to date anybody there, or people that I've encountered through YouTube, and nothing of that nature has ever come up, so it's not a thing. Um, People with various mental health difficulties is something that I've encountered much more again in the recent past, and especially being in the moving through the poly and the kink communities. It's something that comes up a lot. Um, but again, it's never really come up. It's never really come up. Catching up with the chat room. Have I missed anything? Oh, the cluster A's. My best relationships are with primary psychopaths or other ASPD or high functioning MPDs. Do you know what I have to look up? Is ASPD, because it's one that gets mentioned a lot, but I don't know that much about it. Certainly not as much as I do my own two. Let's have a look. Over to the desktop. Signs of antisocial behavior, antisocial personality disorder. Exploit, manipulate, or violate the rights of others. Lack concern, regret, or remorse about other people's distress. Behave irresponsibly and show disregard for normal social behavior. Have difficulty sustaining long term relationships. Be unable to control their anger. Lack guilt or not learn from their mistakes. Blame others for problems in their lives. Repeatedly break the law. This, I will not kid, sounds like hard work. Truancy, delinquency, and other disruptive and aggressive behaviors. This does not sound like a walk in the park. It really does not. Um, and they're not the markers, are they? Okay. 3. Well, there are fewer. Repeatedly breaking the law. Repeatedly being deceitful. Being impulsive or incapable of planning ahead. Being irritable and aggressive. having a reckless disregard for their safety or the safety of others, being consistently irresponsible, lack of remorse. Yeah, see, this is very not me. I mean, not that we were looking at it from that. Um, and I think there are a couple of things that you can see where this borders NPD and BPD, can't you? There's like a border with NPD here and here, and then there's a little bit where BPD sort of bumps into it here in the world map of Cluster B. Um, Part of a person's everyday personality and behavior. This behavior usually becomes most extreme and challenging during their late teens and early 20s, may improve by the time the person reaches their 40s. Because people calm down and you know what's bad. And I think, God, living with this must make life extraordinarily difficult. Because much more so than NPD and BPD, this is stuff that impairs your aforementioned freedom. If you are repeatedly breaking the law, then that is going to eventually catch up with you, isn't it? There's only so long you can just be the dude breaking the law. Um, so, God, yeah. Right, let's have a look on the chat. Mind social. SPD is a lot more complicated than that. I'm very sure. Um, it's it's very interesting to me. It's a very interesting one. Um, what's the other one? Is it histrionic? Yeah, it is. Why do I never get taken to the same pages for all of these things? Wikipedia. Look it up on the Wikipedia. Oh no, this is a cluster B. Oh yeah, that's what it is, isn't it? Oh, it's late here. Fuck off, leave me alone. I don't hear from the HPD people a lot. I'll be honest. You don't get a lot of that kicking around the internet that I've seen. I've not had many, you know, come in. It's a lot of BPD, um, followed by MPD. Obviously, not as many MPD people kicking around because you've got to be aware. And so, you know, then you hear the occasional ASPD. Definitely the third biggest represented in my world. But there nevertheless. Then the next thing I hear the most of is probably ADHD. But HPD, I don't ever hear anything about. I've not, you know, not encountered that one. Let's check this. Yeah. 5 or more of the following. It is uncomfortable in situations in which he or she is not the center of attention. That's a border with narcissism. Interaction with others is often characterized by inappropriate, sexually seductive, or provocative behavior. Well, okay. Displays rapidly shifting and shallow expression of emotions. Consistently uses physical appearance to draw attention to self. Has a style of speech that is excessively impressionistic and lacking in detail. Shows self-dramatization, theatrically and exaggerated expression of emotion. Oh, is suggestible, easily influenced by others or circumstances. Considers relationships to be more intimate than they actually are. There's your border with BPD. Yeah, again, none of mine. I would love to use my physical appearance to draw attention to myself, um, in a positive way. All of these things, there's a lot of these behaviors out in the world. Definitely. But yeah, God, no, that doesn't sound like fun. And what are the combinations you're suggesting in the chat room here of people dating with who? I don't know. Look, with any of these things, with any combination of the personality disorders and dating, it's all the same. Just judge your individual. There's no, oh, you shouldn't be with them. They're this and you're this, so that won't mix. Like, you don't know. We don't know. Who knows? Does it matter? I whatever. Um. So yeah. Anyway, where are we? I am starting to feel like starting at 11:30 might be a more sensible sort of midway ground, or 11 o'clock. I might push back to 11. We'll try that as an experiment for next week. We'll start at 11. I think that feels like the best way to do it. You guys in the chat have been absolutely spectacular tonight. By the way, you've been absolutely great. Thank you so much for sort of keeping me going and prompting me with stuff. It's in the absence of having someone else to talk to during a live stream, which is ideally the best way of doing it. You guys are awesome and really helped me out. I really appreciate it. So I'll come back next week, obviously, next Monday. I'll start half an hour later. We'll go from 11. So that's 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 UK time, which I know it might just be a little better. It might just help. It might just make that initial start a little better. We'll put it on the calendar and everything. So that can be a thing. Sorry, I have to, sometimes you say things in the chat room that it makes me approve, and I always approve. I think it's because the word asshole and shit was in there. I have no problem with such words. Asshole, shit. Shitty asshole. So, I'm going to leave these up. I don't know. Do we leave these up? What do we do? I'm open to suggestion and all of that. I always drop me a line. Talk to me on the Discord as well. That's a good place to get me. Or just message me on Twitter or something. I don't mind. Honestly, I don't mind. Whatever. I love hearing from you all. It might take me 6 weeks to remember that I need to reply to you, but that's an entirely different thing altogether. So, you lot take care. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening to me warble on the internet for a while. Go and check out all the other things that I do because they're all awesome. Send me your money and that would be great. Thank you. I think that's pretty much how this needs to go. So, you take care and I'll see you later. Bye bye.